Hey guys, it's Viv. Welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, we are basically gonna be finding out what your relatives really think about you. Like, really think about you, okay? This video, I kind of wanted to make it around this time in the holidays because I know you probably had to go see your relatives. You're probably thinking like how you came off. It's just fresh in everyone's minds, okay? So I thought it'd be the perfect time to shoot this. Yeah, this video is definitely going to be a fun one, so stick around. If you guys are new to pick a card readings, here's the little rundown. We have 4 piles here, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just feel free to pause this video for a second if you need to meditate on which pile you feel the most drawn to. Then once you've decided, you can fast forward to the timestamp in the description box below. Thank you very much. We'll start with group 1. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, then welcome. This one's for you guys. Let's find out what your relatives really think about you. Alright, group 1. So we are going to start out with your tarot cards here. We have Strength, the 10 of Cups, the Tower, and Death. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, what I'm seeing with this is obviously you are the Strength card. People see you, like your relatives see you as someone who's really strong, right? Someone who has persevered and been through some really like tower moments, okay? I think your relatives kind of see you as someone who's been through a lot, especially emotionally. But I think they see you as someone who has had to deal with some really dramatic changes and shifts in your life, okay? Maybe this was a literal death of someone that you had to deal with, or like some kind of loss even. There's just, at least your relatives perceive you as someone who has been through a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs and roller coasters like in your life, okay? But they see you as someone who is really peaceful, someone who's, who's really stable, okay? They see you as someone who's really stable even though your life may be unstable at the moment, okay? But yeah, they see you as someone who is really family oriented, really playful and kind and generous with the Strength energy here. They just think that you have been through like a lot of stuff though, like either emotionally or psychologically even, but they see you as someone who's kind of been through it all, okay? So let's just get some more information with these other tarot cards. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have the 7 of Coins as well as, oh, okay, the Knight of Wands. Okay, this is really interesting. Yeah, with the 7 of Coins, they definitely think you are someone who's managed to be really successful and reap a lot of fruits out of your own kind of misfortunes or losses, okay? Because the thing is, this Death card, this is just any reading where this Death card shows up in, you just can't ignore it, okay? So there's definitely like this black cloud around your reputation. I feel like when it comes to your relatives, they just either like you were someone who was touched by death or by like this really like dramatic energy, or you're someone who kind of brings that energy to your family, okay? There's something really strong going on with this death energy. Okay, with the Knight of Wands here, you're definitely a go-getter, okay? Your family, or your relatives rather, see you as someone who is really motivated, okay? Someone who is really career-oriented as well, and who just works really hard, okay? They see you as a really hard-working person who's just like had to take on a lot of challenges or a lot of responsibility, possibly even from like an early age. too. You might be the breadwinner in your family, or they might see you as someone who kind of provides for everyone else, okay? I'm just seeing a lot of responsible, like, hardworking energy in this reading so far, okay? So let's check out your oracle cards here. This is the Oracle of the Mermaids deck. Okay, so we have Atlantis. It says rapid development, excellence, and success. Yes, success, guys. They see you as someone who is really successful despite all of this, like, hard energy, okay? Ooh. We also have beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity of form, and spirit. Yeah, they see you as someone who is really graceful, or someone who has had to kind of take on all this difficult energy, like, with grace, okay? They see you as someone who's been able to move through all these challenges or obstacles or whatnot that you've had to deal with, like, grace and beauty, okay? You could also just be, like, someone who is, like, the hottie in your family, or, like, maybe your relatives just see you as someone who is really beautiful, okay, like, within your family. Maybe you have that reputation of just being, like, the good-looking one, okay? But on a deeper level, though, they do see you as someone who has a lot of substance, someone who has, like, the actions to back up your words, okay? So it's not just, like, you're someone who looks the part, you've, like, played the part, you know what I mean, of this more responsible one. Maybe you're an older child in your family, or you are, like, responsible in some way. Maybe you have, like, a lot of younger cousins, for instance. I'm just seeing a lot of, like, obviously, like, integrity, honesty, responsibility here in these cards so far. They see you as someone who has probably had to grow up faster, someone who maybe even, like, skipped a year, or someone who was pretty, like, successful, like, academically too, okay? I'm seeing that they just see you as someone who's, like, really, again, like, responsible and has made do with little, okay? You're someone who's pretty freaking resourceful. I feel like, though, again, coming back to this death energy card, because my eyes still, like, keep wandering, like, towards this card. I feel like you kind of have, like, this reputation. There's, like, an elephant in the room kind of thing going on with you, with your relatives, okay? Maybe they feel like you, like, backed out of something, or there's a period of life where you were just involved in something that was really, like, tumultuous. There's just something, there's, like, this black cloud, kind of, or just, like, this dramatic energy that, like, comes with your name whenever your relatives, like, are talking about you, okay? They can't help but, like, bring up some embarrassing incident or some just dramatic moment with this death energy card. Maybe you had, like, an emotional breakdown, or, like, an explosion happened with this tower energy, or, like, some kind of prank. There's just something that your relatives will forever bring up about you that's, you know, either embarrassing or just, like, happened when you were still immature and young even. But yeah, there's just something that's, like, attached to your reputation when it comes to your relatives, okay? But I feel like you've kind of outgrown that. You've become really successful, and you've had this rapid development with this Atlantis card, okay? So, yeah, your family, or your relatives rather, right? They have faith in you. They see you as someone who's really responsible, who's kind of, you know, who's definitely risen to the challenge, overcome a lot of these obstacles so far in your life, right? It's just, like, I feel like there's something that your relatives kind of harp on about you. Maybe if it wasn't, like, a specific situation or incident, maybe it maybe it was like a disagreement that you had with someone. There's just something with this death energy that like can't be ignored, okay? Especially when it's followed by the tower energy. Maybe there was like some kind of falling out that you had with like a specific family member, or just some like incendiary remark or like criticism was made. There's something in this reading though that is screaming like a falling out or just like an argument, okay? And then maybe you and someone else in your family like parted ways, possibly. But I think overall though, you have like a solid reputation amongst your relatives. They see you as someone who's pretty reliable, predictable, except you've definitely had like your own like fail moments, I feel like, in the past, like when you were young, or there's just something, again, like with this energy over here that just screams rebellion or like embarrassment even, okay? So yeah, that's really what I'm seeing with you guys. I hope this reading resonated. I hope it made sense and like gave you guys more clarity into this for sure. If you guys did like it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, I hope things are going okay. You guys are staying safe out there. Stay awesome. And I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey group 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose this crystal or this pile, then this one's for you guys. Let's find out what your relatives really think about you. Alright, okay, group 2. So we're going to start out with your tarot cards first, and then we'll get more in depth with your oracle cards a bit later, okay? So to start off, we have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Seven of Wands, okay? So there's a lot of Wands energy off the bat. We have 3 Wands cards over here, which is making me think that your relatives see you as someone who's pretty fiery, someone who has probably made some fiery remarks maybe at Thanksgiving, or someone who is a bit opinionated, okay? They see you as someone who's like a really strong, like overbearing even, like character, okay, in your family. You have a really strong, fiery presence. The fact that we have 2 knights here is making me think that you're someone who's pretty steadfast. You're like a go-getter. You are someone who has a pretty, like, not like chaotic, but like busy, like active lifestyle, okay? You're someone who, or at least they see you that way. They see you as someone who is like constantly on the go, exercising at the gym, or like going out hiking. They see you as someone who's like pretty rugged. That's what I'm seeing so far. Let's get some more insight with your other tarot cards. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, we have the Tower, and we have the 5 of Swords. Okay. Yes, 5 of Swords, okay? They might see you as someone who's a bit combative or, as I said, like argumentative. You're someone who likes to make a point of things, okay? You're someone who doesn't mind embarrassing someone just for the sake of like winning the argument or whatnot. Or at least that's how your relatives see you, okay? They see you as a really strong character here. Someone who does not like want to stand down or be toppled with this Tower energy, okay? You're kind of more of like an explosive person. I feel like whenever your relatives do meet up with you or whatnot, they're a bit wary. I feel like they approach you kind of as this Knight of Cups, as like a bit cautious or a bit more reserved, okay? They just see you as someone who might even have like a temper, a bit of a temper, or just they're wary of that, okay? I think your relatives, they're not like scared of you or anything, but they are a bit wary, okay? So, yeah. But I think your relatives see you as someone who's pretty interesting to keep up with, you know? They definitely are asking about you a lot. You're someone who's pretty interesting and entertaining to them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that thing where it's just like no attention is bad attention. You get a lot of attention from your relatives, or I feel like they, even if it's like something that you did that was bad, they still are like interested in you for some reason. They're like, just because like you're entertaining to watch, okay? It's like this Knight of Wands and Two of Wands energy. They just kind of like will sit back and just like watch or see like what move you're gonna do next, just because it's like, just because it's fun, just because it's entertaining. You're not someone who's necessarily like mean always, but you can be a bit explosive, as I said earlier. You do have a bit of a temper, or again, like that's how they see you, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into your oracle cards. This is the Oracle of the Mermaids deck. Okay, let's see what you guys got. We have Sacrifice. It says, there are those worth making, there are those that will destroy you. Okay, that's pretty interesting. All right, next up we have Endurance. It says, keep going. All right, I'm kind of getting a distinct message with this one. I feel like maybe some of your family or your relatives, right? Maybe some of them see you as a bit flaky, or like you don't have enough endurance. Or it could be the other way around, where they see you as someone who does have a lot of endurance, okay? But either way, I feel like they see you as someone who is like an extreme version of that, you know what I mean? They see you as someone who is all or nothing, really. That's what I'm seeing. And that's the other thing with this Sacrifice card. I feel like they know you as someone who, I feel like they see you as someone who's like, go big or go home, you know what I mean? Rather than someone who takes the middle ground. So I think with the Sacrifice card, it's just telling me that your family thinks you are destructive, or your relatives, they think you're a bit destructive on a certain level, okay? Even like self-destructive, just because of how extreme you're willing to go to get what you want or to prove your point, okay? It's kind of making me laugh. I feel like you guys are like the entertainer in your family, or you're the one who kind of like steals the spotlight every time, just because you always are gonna like make a scene or just say something that puts other people a bit on edge, okay? There's something about that energy like in this pile, okay? And also keep in mind these are general readings, so if you're like, man, like I'm not the most like extreme person in my family, then it could just be that you are like the most kind of playful or like funny to watch person in your family, okay? But there is something that's just really fiery though about this reading. So you might be a fire sign, or you could just be a really spirited, like action based person, if that makes sense, okay? I feel like they see you as someone who needs to slow down a bit, someone who might be a bit too fast paced for them. Maybe everyone in your family or like your relatives lead a really peaceful, like slow paced life, you know, that's really like monotonous. Maybe you are the person in your family who likes to switch things up and go the different route, you know what I mean? Or do something creative or something out of the blue, like out of the box, you know what I mean? I feel like your family, they kind of view you as a bit of an outsider in that respect, okay? They see you as someone who's going a bit against the grain, because that's usually what happens when the Tower energy comes out, because the Tower is associated with Aquarius. So it's all about like the toppling of things or old systems that aren't working. You know, it's about taking a different approach, a different route, rather, okay? So I feel like your family sees that quality in you, for good or bad. They just see you as someone who likes to do things a bit differently, someone who just likes to have fun though, ultimately, someone who just likes to switch things up and experience like variety, okay? And someone who someone who just likes to be more interesting, okay, as opposed to like your relatives. Maybe you come from like a family that's not really that like fun or interesting, you know. Maybe you think your family's a bit boring, so you kind of have that opposite like reaction of just trying to do things completely different from your family, you know. That's the thing with the Seven of Wands energy right here. They see you as kind of like this oppositionary kind of force, okay, to the regular, you know, family mood or something. Maybe you're just someone who, like, when you walk into the room and your relatives are there, they'll just they'll like look at each other, you know, give each other like a rolled eye or something, like, oh, it's so and so, it's like here, okay, we better be quiet or they're gonna get mad at us, or we better, you know what I mean, maybe. But it's not usually like a serious thing. People are just like, oh, this person just demands more attention, or this person just wants to liven things up, okay? That's the thing. I don't see you as being anyone who's like too mean or stern, even. At least because I'm reading this spread from the perspective of like how your relatives would see you. So they just see you as someone who is just really playful and really just entertaining. They're always curious to see like what new endeavors you're trying to pursue. I feel like they see you as someone who's pretty interesting to keep up with and ask about, okay? So that is really all I'm receiving for this group, so I will leave it at that for now. I hope this reading made sense to you. I hope you guys were able to get some insight from it, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe out there, stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose this crystal or this pile, then welcome. This one's for you guys. Let's find out what your relatives really think about you. All right, okay, group 3. So we're going to start out with your tarot cards, and then we'll get more into your oracle cards and get some more answers later into the reading. Okay, so first off, we have the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Fool. All right, okay, here's the first thing I'm seeing just off the bat with the Queen of Cups. Your relatives see you as someone who's a bit moody, probably a bit emotional, okay? Especially when we have the Lovers here. They see you as someone who's just gotten, like, someone who's had a lot of relationships or just been emotionally involved with a lot of people, okay? They see you as someone who is just, again, like this Queen of Cups energy, really emotional, really like receptive, okay? They see you as someone who might even be a bit more introverted though, too, with it when we have this card come up. With the Lovers card, okay, the Lovers is kind of, okay, it's similar to the Fool. Both of these cards kind of deal with, you know, being more childish, like being like irresponsible, or just not concerned with consequences, right? But I love that we have the Eight of Pentacles here, because that's making me think that your relatives see you as really hardworking, okay? They see you working your butt off. They just want you to know that, like, all your hard work, they've definitely seen it. They acknowledge that in you. They see that you are someone who is really hardworking, okay? Also with the Fool energy, they see you as someone who is definitely, like, obviously a bit childish, right? But someone who is willing to, like, take risks, someone who really believes in themselves, someone who's really confident. They see you as someone who's probably, like, developed more quickly than your other relatives or your, like, siblings or cousins or whatnot. They see you as someone who's on it, someone who has just developed faster and just more probably is more successful, okay? So let's take a look at some more tarot cards. All right, okay, we have yeah, guys, okay, we have the Nine of Coins and the Page of Wands. Yeah, the Page of Wands is really similar to this Fool energy. They see you as someone who's like a great learner. I feel like they see you as someone who's pretty smart, you know what I mean? Someone who's really, you know, intuitive, receptive, but like really successful. I love that we have the Eight of Pentacles and then the Nine of Coins, because these are basically the same suit. This one just follows the Eight of Pentacles. So there's this chronological thing happening here with this spread, okay? So yeah, I feel like they see you as someone who's just progressing really naturally at your own pace. You know, it seems just, I feel like they have a really good image of you in their minds. They see you as like, they definitely see you as this forever child, right? But they do see you kind of stepping into your own more, you know, becoming more empowered and just owning it, like owning yourself, working on it, you know. I think they see you as someone who's just really focused. Someone who has this laser sharp focus, you know, who doesn't get distracted easily. Even though they've definitely witnessed some of your darker emotional moments, I feel like your relatives see how you've kind of handled all of these emotional situations that you have been through and kind of feel like, oh, like, she'll get over it, or like, they'll just keep working at it. They'll just, you know, get back on the horse. You know what I mean? So they have this confidence, this faith in you that you can kind of overcome any challenge, okay? They've seen you in your worst times, or they've seen some of your fails and seen how you've gotten back up, you know, after you've fallen, right? So your family does have, or like your relatives, they do have a really good like image in mind when they do like think about you, okay? So let's take a look at your oracle cards. Oh, okay, you guys. So we have, for your mermaid oracle cards, we have the Magic of the Cohelan Druid. It says caution, secrecy, wary. Okay, so we have that. And then we also have Divination. It says prophecy, fate, destiny, future, and fortune. Ooh, okay. Yeah, they see you as someone who's really, like, successful. Because we do have a lot of pentacle energy here. And then with this divination card, they see you as someone who is meant to do, like, bigger things, you know? Someone who's gonna go on to become, like, more successful and more bigger than life, okay? There's something interesting going on here with the Magic of the Cohelan Druid. Just because it says caution and secrecy, you might be like a white elephant in the room kind of thing when it comes to your relatives. Maybe, I feel like there's like one relative who like knows a secret about you. There's something going on here in this reading that is telling me that there's like some kind of secret, or like there's something like really childish kind of going on with your relatives. Maybe they're hiding something from you. Maybe you're once part of a prank, you know? Or it could just be a secret that's kind of going around. I feel like it's nothing bad, but I do feel like someone is keeping something from you. That is one of your relatives is, okay? I think there's something really interesting going on here with the Lovers card. The symbolism, right, or the imagery kind of shows it to be the Garden of Eden. We have the snake there, the fruit, Adam and Eve, right? That classic image. I feel like your family has witnessed you making some really awful mistakes, right? But I feel like that also gives them hope that like, oh, well, there's no way they can kind of top that, you know what I mean, or that fail. I feel like you guys have, or like your relatives rather, they've seen you through some really embarrassing shit or some just, some gnarly stuff going on, right? That's the thing. Maybe that has something to do with this Cohelan Druid card, because there's some kind of like secrecy or something that they kind of hide from you or they just don't bring up anymore, which could have been like an embarrassing incident that you had, or it could be that one of your relatives found out that you did something and they're literally like kind of contemplating whether they should tell the rest of the family. But I feel like there's nothing though here that's really screaming like that your relatives are like being mean to you or like that you've been mean to your relatives. I think it's more just like there's something going on in their perception of you that has to deal with, maybe it's that they think of you as a bit secretive, honestly, or maybe they get the impression that like you're hiding something from them. But I think there's definitely something here that has to do with secrecy. And the Queen of Cups is a pretty secretive card. This I associate with like Scorp energy because it's really emotional, dramatic, but also like really receptive. It's powerful. It's the Queen of Cups, So they see you as someone who's definitely not to be trifled with within your own family. They see you as someone who's really powerful, who can raise hell, someone who you would not want to like get into a fight with, okay? But I feel like they're a bit intimidated by you, but also at the same time they are aware definitely of some of the baggage or some of the embarrassing moments that you have had like in the past, okay? So I'm definitely getting that. But I feel like your family or your relatives can't say shit about you because you've kind of turned, like the tables have turned for you. You are now someone who's grown into being like a really successful person, at least as far as your career is going. They see you as someone who's really career oriented, someone who has completely turned their life around from when they were little and is now like a successful adult, right? Or someone who's just gotten their life together, okay? They just see you having transformed into someone who is now like doing really great. And with the full energy, they see you as someone who's really promising, someone who offers a lot, someone who's promising a lot, someone who has a lot of potential even. They see you as that. And I think that's definitely tied up with this divination card. They see you as someone who's fated to have like a really promising, a really fulfilling future. You know what I mean? They see you as that. They see you as someone who can be like really successful. So I think overall they have a pretty good image or like rapport with you, or at least that's how like they think of you, okay? Your relatives think of you as someone who is definitely like doing well right now or who is about to be doing really freaking well in the near future, okay? I feel like also you are someone in your family who kind of slips under the radar a little bit, you know what I mean? They don't always like think of you necessarily, like you don't steal the spotlight as much as certain other people in your family. But I do feel like whenever you are brought up, people are like, oh yeah, so wait, what are they up to? I totally like, not that you're like forgettable or anything, but you slide under the radar. You aren't as noticeable because with the Queen of Cups and this Cohelan Druid card, you are someone who just flies under the radar. You don't attract attention. You're really subtle, okay? You don't, like, you might have had your embarrassing moments in the past, but those days are over. Like, you're no longer someone who is made fun of in your family. You're no longer someone who has to kind of be that scapegoat anymore. You are someone who is powerful now, or soon to be powerful, okay? They see you as someone who's really determined, really like focused on your career or what you want to be doing, like what you're passionate about, okay? So they see you as kind of like the family success story. That's what I'm seeing. They see you as really like, promising and full of a lot of potential, okay? So, yeah, those are the main things I'm seeing for this pile. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. I hope this reading like made sense to you guys. I hope it gave you more insight. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a really amazing day wherever you're at. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Hey group 4, welcome to your reading. If you chose this pile or this crystal, then welcome. This one is for you guys. Let's find out what your relatives really think about you. Alright, okay, group 4. So let's dive right into this. We're going to start out with your tarot cards, and then we'll move on to some oracle cards later to get more answers. So to start off, we have the 7 of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the 4 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. Okay, so alright, off the bat, your relatives see you as someone who is really hardworking, but someone who's kind of a bit like, like, blah, like, they see you as someone who's a bit, like, uninteresting, or perhaps even a little boring, okay? I feel like you guys slide under the radar a lot with your family, or your relatives just don't pay that much attention to you. They just see you as a bit boring. That's really what I'm getting, like, off the bat. But they do see you as someone who's really hardworking, someone who is pretty normal, you know what I mean? I feel like they see you as someone who's just, like, pretty conventional, and someone who kind of goes with the flow. I feel like they see you as someone who just isn't that confident in themselves yet, or someone who is really doubtful of themselves, okay? Maybe they think you don't know what you want to do with your life, or they see you as someone who's just like not that passionate or not that inspired or motivated with what you're doing right now, if that's like your career or like what you're trying to pursue. I feel like your family or like your relatives, they don't really know what to make of that though. They're just like, oh, it's so-and-so, like, oh, what are they up to? You know what I mean? There's not really that much substance here. I feel like their opinions of you kind of go back and forth a lot of the time, from like someone who is successful, someone who has a lot of opportunities being handed to them, someone who's like promising, to someone who doesn't know what they want to do. It's someone who keeps getting themselves mixed up in like extraneous situations. That's really like what I'm seeing off the bat, okay? But let's just get more into this. Let's take a look at your other tarot cards. Okay, we have the interesting. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Two of Wands. Okay. I feel like they see you as someone who's kind of watery, like this Queen of Cups energy, but I feel like they don't have much faith in you, or they kind of, because again, the only other Cups card we have here with the Four of Cups is just telling me that they either see you as having like a lot of doubt in yourself, or they doubt you a lot, you know what I mean? Maybe you're kind of like the underdog in your family, and they kind of underestimate you a lot, and then you come up like on top, or with the Ace of Wands, and they're like, wait a second, oh, I did not see that, like, oh, I didn't see them getting into like such a great college, or, you know, I didn't see them panning out this way. I feel like you guys have a lot to offer though, because your relatives underestimate you a lot, okay? They just write you off as someone who's a bit dull or boring, when in fact, like, you have a ton to offer, okay? And also with the Two of Wands card right here, I feel like this card kind of represents things that aren't revealed yet, okay? So they don't really know what to expect from you yet. Maybe you're still a bit young and you're watching this, or they just haven't really gotten a clear image like of who you are or what you want to be doing yet, okay? But I think there's still so much to be revealed about you to your relatives, okay? And I feel like that's why they write you off as someone who's a bit boring, because they just don't really know. They don't really know you, okay? They don't really know like what you're trying to do with your life so far, or they don't have like that much confidence in you thus far, okay? It might have been that you used to get into some trouble or some situations that made you look bad, perhaps. But I feel like for some reason, your relatives just see you as someone who's just blah. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's take a look at your Mermaid Oracle cards. Okay, so we have... Oh, right. Okay, so we have visions. It says psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out-of-body travel. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Ooh, okay, so, all right, and then we have wave of power. A surge of power, upswing in energy, exhilarating movement. Okay, this card is definitely coming through strongly. I think with the wave of power, your family or like your relatives, they just haven't seen you like take shape yet. They haven't seen you like gain this momentum, this wave of power yet. But I think once you do, they're gonna be like, wait, you know what I mean? Where did that come from? Like, this person totally came out of nowhere. You are the underdog in your family, or like the black sheep in a way. People don't know what to make of you, or they just kind of have mixed feelings about you. I feel like some people in your family like really like you and have like a soft spot for you, but I feel like other people just see you as this Five of Wands energy. It's like pointless. They see you as someone who isn't worth defending, or someone who just doesn't really deserve like all that they've been handed with this Ace of Wands energy. Or they don't know that you've actually like earned the Ace of Wands energy for yourself. They think you've been handed it, like these opportunities, or like where you are in life. They think has more so to do with like what you've been given from your parents, or not that like they think you're spoiled, but they think you definitely could have made more with what you've been given, okay? But they don't yet see like the potential in you, okay? I feel like they just kind of write you off again as someone who is uninteresting, you know, or someone who just could have been more in your family for some reason. But again, like, they don't yet see that. They don't have these visions yet of you. Only you can really see like where the universe is planning to take you, okay? Because again, like, you guys have a lot of potential and a lot of dreams to fulfill, but your family or like your relatives, they just don't quite get it, okay? Like, they're not into that. Or you might come from like a really conventional family where you feel like you can't really do things that are like outside of the box, like spiritual things, or like they would kind of write you off as someone who's just like not successful, who, you know, went down the beaten path of doing something that they wanted, but then just didn't really make much of it. I don't know. I feel like they don't see your vision of like what you want to be doing, which I feel like has a lot to do with like your creativity and your inner artist. I feel like this pile's naturally really expressive and creative because of the Ace of Wands card here. Like, you guys have a lot of inspiration and things that you want to go after. It's more so that you guys have been faced with a lot of like obstacles or opposition from your family, or from like things in your environment that have kind of pulled you down to earth and made you believe that you couldn't dream as high or like achieve the things that you want, basically, okay? I think there's a lot of challenges and high expectations that your family or your relatives have placed on you. I think with this Seven of Pentacles energy, it's kind of like a burden that you have to deal with. and you kind of, your natural instinctive reaction to that is to like withdraw, you know what I mean? I think your family sees you a bit more of like just more withdrawn and like abstract or uninteresting again, okay? So yeah, but I think that's their loss, though, honestly, that they can't see this for themselves. They can't see all this creative and like artsy flow that you guys have, okay? So, yeah, I think that's just something that they're gonna have to work on. It's mostly on their end, their problems. But yeah, I see you guys, though, as eventually, being successful in like pursuing the career or like whatever path you want to take in life that deals with your more psychic or like intuitive self, right? Or like creative self. I think your family is just gonna take longer to either accept that about you or they're not really gonna believe it until they see it, okay? So, yeah, that's really what I'm seeing for you guys. This is a really interesting pile. I had a lot of fun reading for you guys. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I really do appreciate all that. I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you're at. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later.